Hello and welcome to Before We Break Up Again, a podcast with me, Alfie Brown, and her, Jessie Cave. Now, I'm going to the Edinburgh Festival Fringe, and you can find all the tickets that you need for me in the link below. But also, I'm going on tour, alfiebrowntour.com. There's a link below to that as well. What do you have to shamelessly plug?
I'm doing a conversation on stage with an actress-writer called Hannah Murray, who was Cassie in Skins a long time ago, and she was in Game of Thrones, and she's written a really great memoir, which we talk about a little bit in this podcast. Not her memoir, we talk about memoirs in general, actually, in this podcast. And Alfie absolutely loves the title of my potential new memoir podcast.
Stay
tuned for that. So it's Hannah Murray in conversation with me on the 5th of June at King's Place in London. And tickets are on sale, and it'd be really nice to have people there. I think it would be a really interesting discussion. She basically got sucked into a wellness cult.
So look out for that book, and Jessie will be interviewing her shortly. Jessie's also doing a week in Edinburgh, and we have an extra episode of this podcast every single week. Every single Monday evening, usually, it comes out on the Patreon, patreon.com/braveclown. So go there for the other episode, the No Holds Barred episode, the topless episode. Do you think they're better?
Yeah.
I think they're worse. I don't. I think they're just as good. It's just another episode of the podcast. But it's just that you said they were better. I didn't want people to.
I think they're more relaxed. I think we're more revealing in those ones, and we're a bit more free with what we say. Not to say that these ones aren't. We're too free, and these ones too. But I really do think the Patreon is good value for money. Actually, I have to say that. I do.
Okay. And look out for more content there very soon. Alfie, patreon.com/braveclown. In this episode, we talk about chocolate-covered Brazil nuts. We talk about Jessie's food issues again. Just a little touch on that. I'm very bad at texting. It has something to do with perfectionism, and it gives me a great sadness, anxiety.
And
we speak about poetry, and we speak mainly about memoirs. Jessie loves a memoir and wants to start a memoir podcast called Me, Myself, and Memoir.
No, don't give it away. You've just given it away.
Sorry about giving it away.
You said stay in your lane, and you just messed that up.
Stay in the pocket.
You said stay in the pocket. Stay in your lane.
This is Before We Break Up Again. Enjoy
your lane.
I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine.
Sure.
Your skincare obsession knows no bounds.
You really do need. It's not funny. I'm not going to talk about this in the podcast.
It's not
It's a serious topic. Okay?
Of wearing Factor 50.
Is that another SD card case that you could lose?
Yes. It's one to replace the SD card case that I lost.
Oh, we've just spent a good chunk of time this morning looking for an SD card case.
I'd say we've spent this morning looking for an SD card case.
And you're quite panicked by it.
I just hate the fact that it's like, it's a very similar sensation to losing a diary. And because there's so much of me on there trying out different bits and pieces, including footage of a route. You don't know what I'm going to say.
No, I haven't thought about the fact that there's so much unedited stuff on there. Oh my God.
And what's going to happen to it?
Someone's going to find it and think, what the hell is this?
In the world where somebody finds it and goes through all of it.
Yeah, I would. If I found an SD card case, that would be great. I would absolutely love that. I would go through everything on it.
Yeah.
But then I would have to know what to do.
That's we are in a fantasy in which the person who finds it has the technological capability of exporting what's on them. And also the idea that the SD card case has been lost in a place that somebody would find it, and not just lost in a place where nobody ever sees it again.
When I lose something, it derails everything. I will now be spending the day looking for that.
I know, but when you lose something, that's not the same as when I lose something. I'm just a little bit annoyed that there is footage on there of me from a few years ago where I did this long routine about going to watch your children's nativity, and it's the only time I ever did it, and it went fairly well. I always thought, I'll watch that back and turn that into something, and now it's gone. And
do you mean a nativity in general, or the nativity that I wrote?
No.
Okay.
No, I'd never actually had the mental strength to talk about that, or what it was that we were going through when you decided that you needed to put on a nativity. And I'd not thought about the nativity that you tried to put on for quite some time.
It's my biggest failure.
But now it's not. But now that we have some distance from the nativity that you tried to put on, can we talk about what was going on there for a bit?
I told you, I've always wanted to write a school play for kids and be this like Miss Honey figure where I'm, everyone loves me and the kids are performing and I'm directing and I've written it, and it's like the film Nativity, but I'm
films
Nativity 1, 2, 3, and 4, and
don't watch Nativity 4.
And yeah, I really, really wanted to do it, but I had rented this room that was the sound in there was so screechy, and the kids just with their volume and the chairs scratching, and it was just so, is the word cacophonic?
A cacophony.
So cacophony of awful sounds, and no one listened to me. It didn't work, and I gave up after a couple of sessions, but they did enjoy the sessions, the kids. I really would have loved to have done it. It's like I would love to homeschool. I'm so sad that I've never got to live that dream. And now I won't, because he's about to go to secondary school. So I've lost that chance.
Do you find it as you get older, because you are, do you find it easier as you get older, the idea that there are lots of... You
just seem cruel now because I didn't laugh at that.
There are lots of things that... there are lots of things in your life like that you would like to have done, ways in which you would like to have lived that you've precluded yourself from by living this life. Lots of things that you'll never have the opportunity to do.
Yeah, but lots of the things that I wanted to involve children.
I know.
Like you.
No, yeah, I know. I'm not. I didn't mention that. I didn't say that. Are you sad that you didn't get to go to the Ministry of Sound more? I
actually had a really interesting chat with a cab driver last night about clubs. Because he was really sad. He drove me to Euston late at night, about 10. And he was like, it's just so quiet. It's so quiet. And I was trying to make light of it and be like, oh, it's just probably a weekday. And, it's and then he just went on this long monologue about how everything's so expensive. No one can afford to go out. There's only 2 nightclubs now in London, which I don't think is true, but... Fabric and Ministry of Sound. Yeah. Oh, no, hasn't that one shut down, Ministry of Sound? There was some kind of scandal.
I think it was refurbished. I had a great night in Ministry of Sound once. Carry on.
Did you talk about this once on the podcast?
Don't know. It was the Topshop Christmas party.
Okay, we'll do that one day. Anyway, it was quite sweet talking to the taxi driver. No, I don't. The one thing that I do want to do that I know is insane, and everyone judges me for it. And when I start talking about this, everyone stops me and says, "Don't be ridiculous," type thing. Is take the kids out of school, go traveling, and homeschool for a bit.
Right.
Just love to do that.
Well, I think that we met a comedian, didn't we, when we were in Australia, who had taken his children out of school and was homeschooling his children whilst he did the run of festivals in Australia, because it was such a great opportunity for the kids to see Australia, to have these months away, like an amazing life experience. If there was anything that they were going to fall foul of education-wise, or if there was any discrepancy in the level of learning that they were going to get, it would be more than made up for by the magic of the Australian experience as they went from city to city, performing from festival to festival. And I do get that. The thing is, he has 2 children, and they were of an age where that would be feasible. But this is the thing about your desires, is that they often clash with each other, and some of your desires preclude you from your others.
I know. I met this mum this week who has got 2, and she's about to move. She lives where we did in London, and which are very small flats, and she's going to move to Italy, live on an island, homeschool and continue to have children until she can't. And I don't think I've ever been as jealous talking to somebody for 5 minutes and then had to kind of excuse myself and then go away and just kind of quietly seethe that I've not lived her life. But at the same time, oh God, it's such a privilege. Like that's such a privileged thing to do, to be able to just up sticks, move abroad, not have to worry about working because you've got a rich husband, and just like we will never be able to do that, and that's okay. Most people can't. Who gives a shit? But
well, never say never.
Well, maybe, but he's about to start secondary school and he's going to have friends, and our daughter, I would take the little ones out if I could, but I can't take her out because I just so want her to have friends, unlike me. So I can't take her out.
So.
And Donnie doesn't want to.
No.
So.
He wants to work hard.
He wants to be
He
normal.
wants to work hard and get a good job.
Yeah. But this almost fits in with our Ferry Across the Mersey. Ferry Across the Mersey segment. But
why are you singing it not in the melody of the song Ferry Across the Mersey?
How does it go?
Ferry across
the Mersey. Like that.
Ferry across the Mersey. I think.
Okay. No, we're not going to play that now.
I think we could.
But it's about our fantasy this week, and that is my fantasy. Is to
explain more about your fantasy.
I want to, before the end of the school year, which is a mere few weeks away now. Fucking hell.
It's also not ferry across the Mersey. It's ferry cross the Mersey.
Right. Okay. I would like to take them out of school.
Yeah.
I would like to take them out of school, and I would like to. I now realise Australia is not an option just because it would cost about. Realistically, it would cost about 30 grand. 30 grand? Do you think that's stupid? It costs all of our flights, a family of 6 flights. That would be at least 12, 14, 15.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're fucked.
Hearts torn in every way. So ferry across the Mersey.
My version's better.
So I did get it. I got it more or less good from memory, didn't I?
You do. You do this really sweet thing when you try and sing something correctly. You do this little smile like you're a musician, and you do this little eye wince.
I am a musician.
I know, you should have been a musician. Do you know what? I did this podcast this week in London, and I didn't realise that a lot of it I was going to be talking about our podcast, which is sweet. And she asked all about my fiance. It was very funny. And I said, please don't say fiance. And she said, yeah, sorry, I could tell you're uncomfortable. And we started talking, and then suddenly I found myself saying, yeah, Alfie should have been a singer. He just should have been a singer. He has a beautiful voice. He should have been a country music singer. And I really, really hope that he has a late in life career change and he becomes a hit country music singer.
But why and what makes you think, why country?
I have no idea.
But I'm not even from one of the relevant
I don't know.
places.
I just meant not poppy.
And who would you think is poppy that I wouldn't want to...
Like Ed Sheeran. We're not going the Ed Sheeran route. We're going the more Zach Bryan route. Like
But
the
Zach
elder
Bryan
Zach Bryan.
Zach Bryan is poppy country, isn't he?
Yeah. So yeah, you'd be Zach Bryan-y
Pop country.
with a rock edge.
Chris Stapleton.
So like Nickelback meets Zach Bryan.
I don't think Nickelback are very cool. I prefer not to be Nickelback.
Okay,
if
fine.
it's all
The
the same to
National
you.
meets Zach Bryan.
The guy from The National doesn't really have a beautiful voice. It's just
Oh, he
very
does.
soulful. It's not like
I love that. I really do think you should have been a singer. It's
beautiful
such a
tone.
all your connection. Nepotism could have finally paid off in your favour.
I'm not sure that that's true. If you look at like, I don't think that's true.
But your dad's a musician. He could have been your producer.
That's true.
He could have produced your first album.
Yeah. A platinum selling music producer, my father.
Yeah. You could have gone to a studio, recorded your first tracks that I would have written, and it would have been brilliant.
Do you think I would have sung Voluptuous well?
Let's not reveal my song. It's my
You've
first.
already
That's
revealed it.
Have we?
Yeah. You've sung Voluptuous
Oh,
on the podcast
gosh.
before.
I can't
The
believe
song that you
I
wrote.
also on
For
this.
any new listeners, it goes, I'm voluptuous.
No, that's not how it goes.
How
It's I'm voluptuous.
old were you when you wrote it? early teens.
Too old. I'm voluptuous. Can you cope with that?
Cope is such an incredibly bizarre word to have in that song. Can you cope with it? When handle was right there. Can you handle
a
that?
southern country accent?
I have absolutely no idea.
Or
but
do I have to be a stick insect? You can't say stick insect anymore. That was the big, what's the word?
that was a slam,
That was
wasn't
a big slam back in the day. You're a stick insect. So mean.
You can't say that to skinny girls anymore because it's...
You can't say rake either. You're a rake. You can't say that.
Mm-hmm.
Rake is a bit... I would find rake flattering. If you said you look like a rake today, I'd be like, thank you so much.
I know, but you are inhibited by your Kate Moss generation beauty standards.
Mm-hmm.
And we've all moved on and you haven't. You're still...
moved on. We're in the Ozempic era.
That is a health thing.
No, it's not. Celebrities are taking Ozempic to be as thin as possible again. I mean, if you look at all the girls walking around here with their midriff out, everyone is trying to be skinny. I think skinny is back. And here to stay.
I've seen some midriffs of people who weren't on Ozempic, and that's fine as well.
I used to have my full gut out. It was I think not. It was when I was like
Voluptuous.
unhealthily thin. No.
Oh, right.
No.
Oh, and you were so proud of it.
I was so proud of it. I'm going to show this off.
I wonder if I got into really great, sort of objectively fabulous condition, whether I'd be one of those men in the park on a sunny day that took their shirt off.
Yeah, it's such a double standard, but I do always find it. Do I like it?
Is it wicked?
I do like. I think I do like them taking their shirts off. Actually, when the boys take their shirts off, our sons in the park, which they do all the time, people stare at them, and I get really annoyed. It's like, what? They're children. Just let them take their top off.
I took Donnie to hospital when he was 1.5 years old. He had a temperature. You were at home with our then newborn baby girl.
No, this
and when I got him to hospital, the doctor saw him and he was all sweating. He had a temperature. It was a really hot day. So as few clothes as possible was the instruction from the doctor. And I went, okay, well, I'll just take him home like this. And the doctor said, well, I think you better put a T-shirt on him just for the purposes of decorum. Are you fucking mad? He's 18 months old. He's not trying to pick up on the tube. He's just hot and needs to be... It's like, what is your decorum? He's 18 months. You're insane. I know. Who even thinks like that?
I find it really weird as well when people are really... they get upset if there's stuff on the kids' faces. I mean, I understand snot. If snot's coming all the way down, then probably move. But when they're too over the top with tissue... Oh, do you need a tissue? Do you need a tissue? I find that really annoying. So they're children.
But I think I would enjoy if I was sort of heavily six-packed to have my shirt off in the park and arouse people with it.
Yeah, you should. I think you should do that now. You look great.
You think I should take my top off now?
No, not now.
Right, okay.
In the park.
We should do a topless podcast for the Patreon.
I was thinking that we could do one in bed, naked, but with the duvet up to here.
Why?
Because I think it would be really funny for us to do it like that.
But also do it naked, with the knowledge of that we're both naked. Yeah. And we could maybe put our hand on each other's part and then...
No, that's becoming OnlyFans territory.
Oh, is that okay?
Yeah, we could do that for OnlyFans though.
But I'm not. No, I won't. I mean, I could. Yeah, okay, sure.
I would love you to create an OnlyFans account just because then I can have your hand in my videos. Because I need even if I have your hand throwing my ponytail, you need to have an account.
Yeah.
And sometimes that would be really useful. Like if you did a plait, we paint your nails so it looks like a girl's hand maybe.
It looks quite a lot like a girl's hand anyway.
Yeah. So I think it would work. Sorry.
It's okay. I said it. It's fine. I was with you. It wasn't like you were getting at me and I was hurt by it. I was in on that joke.
I feel like you're really trying today. I feel like SD card is at the forefront of your mind.
I just don't want to let you and the mother sluts down.
Yeah, you have let us down.
Well, I know. I know. I wouldn't have said I don't want to let you down if I hadn't let you down. I also don't want to let loads of other people down, but I haven't mentioned that because I'm not currently letting them down.
Okay, just quickly, before we go on to our first section, which involves letting people down, you'll be glad to know.
Good, I'm good. I can't get enough of
what would
letting people down.
My fantasy would be to take them out of school before the summer and to go traveling with money that we don't have and do that. My more realistic fantasy that I can do is I really feel like I need to eat everything. Like I'm ready just to eat a cow. I'd love just to, not a cow, but as much.
What about some soya bean curd?
No.
That's tofu.
Like I'm a cereal day. If I could eat cereal for a day, I would fucking love that. I really am. People must listen to this and think she's got such an eating problem.
Yes.
Yeah, but I don't. I'm.
No, you do.
But I'm not. I'm not. I don't.
No, but you have issues around food, don't you? Isn't it weird how on the podcast I say issues and off the podcast I say issues?
I don't have issues with food. Last night I ate, like on the train, I ate a whole bag of chocolate-covered Brazil nuts, a massive bag of crisps after eating dinner.
Yeah.
To try and keep me awake. And then I was so full I fell asleep. It's really It's really embarrassing falling asleep on the late night train because when I fall asleep, I definitely drool and I definitely I'm so delighted not to be wearing my night guard that I go to town with grinding. I think my subconscious just goes like
wow.
People must walk by and see me grinding and snoring and drooling and be like, how did she get on this train?
It's when the woman or man comes up to you, but for me the other day it was a woman, put her hand on my shoulder and went, "Ticket, please," to wake me up.
Did you like that?
Huh?
Did you like it?
No, I didn't. I just felt bad that I'd been asleep and I'd made this poor woman wake me up.
Yeah, I would really not like to wake strangers up.
No, it'd be awful. So you asking what my ferry what my ferry across the Mersey is?
Yeah, what would your fantasy be this week? One realistic one and one fantasy one.
My realistic one is I'd like to start a comedy club in West Kirby.
Okay. Why West Kirby?
Because it's a beautiful little town, apparently. I went there a lot when I was a kid because my grandparents moved, as seems to be the case a lot of the time, you move out of Liverpool into the retire on the Wirral. And for a little while they lived in West Kirby, or maybe they would just go to West Kirby from where they were from. Either way, I have memories of West Kirby, and it's like a cool bohemian little town. Apparently, I need to research that, but also my mum has fond memories of it as a summertime excursion, and for the purposes of circularity, romance, I think my mum would like it.
But do you think there'll be an audience there
in West Kirby? Well, yeah, there's an audience in any town,
but is it an older population?
I think West Kirby's a little bit more like it, I don't know, but I think it might have something of Folkestone about it,
right?
Or Margate, but not anywhere near as Margatey as Margate, which is why I initially said Folkestone.
Okay, that sounds good. So that's a realistic one.
That's a realistic one because I'm having a good time on Mondays at Creatures Comedy Club at 8:30. But I'd like to extend that. What's funny about me plugging that?
I just was licking my lips. Sorry.
Well, don't lick your lips. What's on them? More treats. Last night's Brazil nuts.
No, I think it's funny that you're promoting it because you're so bad at promoting. So whenever you promote, I feel like I secretly have to go, well done.
Oh, right. And my unrealistic ferry across the Mersey is going to be, I mean,
it's not a great segment, is it?
Did you just hear it? It was one of your segments, wasn't it? I hastened to add.
But go on, what's your unrealistic ferry across? We're still trying to come up with new segment ideas if you haven't noticed.
It's so funny.
This will be the final ever. Go on, final ever unrealistic ferry across the Mersey.
I'd like to go to Lisbon, to the Pink Lanes, and eat sardines and drink a carafe of wine and read my book.
That'd be nice.
It would be nice.
You really were bored saying that.
It's just what I'd like to do. There's no tension there at all.
Oh, cool. That's nice.
It's just a nice idea. Ferry, cross the Mersey.
Right. That was a good segment. That was a good chit chat. First bit of the podcast done. How do you feel?
Good. I can't wait to load the stings.
Oh, yeah. You haven't done that yet. Did we not have a Ferry across the Mersey segment last week? It feels like we've done it forever.
No, we didn't know.
Okay. Well, I thought just to have a little break in talking for a second, I would read you some of Matthew McConaughey's memoir.
Okay.
As you know, I'm very into memoirs.
You are very into memoirs. You actually want to start a memoir podcast, don't you?
Well, I thought I could either do a motherhood podcast or a memoir podcast because they're two things that I do a lot of.
Mothering and reading memoirs.
Yeah. So I thought at first all of the memoirs could be by mothers, but then that was quite narrowing.
Why don't you do a food podcast?
Because I hate food.
Yeah, but
I had a really awkward...
That's all the food podcasts are about. How much people love food. Oh. Everybody's doing like it's off menu or hoovering or fucking Nick Grimshaw asking what your favorite crisp is or
I would die
all of that.
On
Everybody's
this
going,
podcast.
oh yeah, food. Isn't food great?
I really want to be invited on one of those podcasts and just make everyone feel really awkward. That disgusts me. The way you're eating that, I hate it. Like, please get that away from me.
I don't like wet food.
Well, last night on this radio thing I did, we had to have this comedian, Chloe Petts. She said you had to have a word that you want to get rid of, and her word was pancake that she wanted to get rid of, and that sparked a discussion about food. And I started to panic, thinking, oh, they're going to ask me my favorite food or something like that, and then I'm going to have to say dark chocolate.
And nobody ever trusts anybody when they say their favourite food is dark chocolate. It sounds like an affectation of somebody aspiring to a greater level of adulthood than they've actually attained. I like dark chocolate. No, you fucking don't.
Well, then
Somebody's turned a treat into a punishment food. It's not nice. It is mind-collapsingly bitter, especially the chocolate that you eat. 100% dark chocolate. And you eat it after something like that I've made, dinner, that is infinitely sweeter than the pudding that you're consuming. I don't understand how it occupies a space in your brain as a treat. I don't believe anybody who likes 100% dark chocolate. And
it's an antioxidant rich.
But that's not the reason to eat pudding. You go, oh, what's for pudding? Antioxidants.
Yeah, but I don't always have 100%. I mix it up with 85. Right?
Oh my God. Well, that's almost even more absurd.
I know, it's weird. I don't know why I do it. I think I read once that someone like Gwyneth Paltrow did it, and then I've just done it ever since.
But isn't she a nutcase?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I like her, though. She's a likeable nutcase.
Does she put her pussy in candles or something?
She steams it.
Steams her pussy?
Steams her vagina.
Is that before somebody eats it or because...
I don't know. I need to look into this.
She could try poaching it. Roast.
Okay.
Roast snatch.
So I started panicking, thinking they're going to ask me about food. And then they did, and then
what did they ask you about food?
They said, "Is there any food that grosses you out?" or something like that, a more eloquent phrasing.
And you got...
And I just went on a rant about sandwiches.
Well done. That's great. That's really funny. That must have been really funny.
I lost the entire audience. All of them suddenly thought, oh no, she's a weirdo. And
only at that point. They
didn't like me from the beginning. I now feel that all audiences are like, she's a whore. Here she comes. They've said she's a comedian, but she's a whore. I do feel like that. So I made a point of going in my massive extra large American football t-shirt, slouching to hide my fake boobs and looking as like unhoary as possible. So I went on a rant about sandwiches. I said I resent making a sandwich for my child's packed lunch. So I even now just give him a brioche. And then Phil Wang started saying how middle class that was that I was giving him a brioche. And then I swore, which you're not allowed to do. And I went, fucking hell, it's not middle class. It's a cheap brioche from Asda. It's a brioche pack. It's not middle class. Even though the word brioche sounds fucking middle class,
It's because
doesn't it?
it's French, yeah.
So, and then then they were like, sorry, you don't eat sandwiches? And I was like, no, I don't. I don't like them. I didn't go into how much I actually have a physical response to packaged sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, I didn't because they didn't have time. But then they were like, so could you eat bread and then a filling and then some more bread? And I was like, I don't like the word filling.
The audience must have been loving
No,
this.
they were silent for this entire sandwich segment.
But they were laughing at other people.
Oh yeah. They warmed up to me only when they realised that I was just very pithy. But they took a long while to realise that I wasn't just shit. Because I was really...
How are you saying that word again?
Pithy.
Mhm.
Is it not pithy?
I think I'd say it's pithy.
I like pithy. So they took a long time to warm up to me. And then they realised I wasn't a whore. And they liked me by the end.
That's good.
I hope.
But what were that, why did they think you were a whore initially?
Because they all probably, well, they were a very Radio 4 audience, but I was like, I don't know. I just now feel like OnlyFans is just written on my forehead.
Yeah, but it isn't.
It isn't. Obviously, it's not written there. It's written on my socks.
You're a real ambassador for the company, aren't you?
Yeah, and they don't want me to be.
No, they don't want you to be, because you're the worst of both worlds, I think. Because they're very like into getting comedians on their platform to try and sell their comedy, but less so into comedians getting on the platform and trying to sell their bun drop videos.
Bundles.
So
Do you know that I didn't realise this until this week, and the podcast I was doing with this lovely woman, I'm in the top 1% of earners on OnlyFans. That sounds like financially I'm in a much better place than I am, trust me. But it was quite sweet for her to be so complimentary of that and to be like, you've been in the top 1% for a year. And I was like, yeah, I've stayed in the top 1% for a whole year. But
yeah,
it's not the top. There must be lots of people who are earning very little. If I'm in the top 1% earning what I am, there are lots of people who are earning very, very little on there.
I don't know, but I would suggest that my shows in Edinburgh are in the top 0.01% of earning shows in Edinburgh.
Right, okay.
And that's not earning very much money. The stat is attractive, but like also when people talk about the 1%, now the top 1% of wealth, like globally, also probably includes us, or like includes people who aren't very wealthy, is what I mean. Because there are so many people. I think that probably doesn't include us, but it includes so many people.
It definitely doesn't include us.
Well, how do you know?
Because we're in debt. We're in such debt.
Sure,
Debt.
but in terms of we own this house, so
yeah, kind of.
But then yeah, sure. But what I'm saying is, but then so many other people on this street probably own their houses that are equivalent houses, and then there's loads of anyway. So I don't know. But there are loads of people that are in these brackets.
Yeah. Okay, going back to Matthew McConaughey and his memoir. This is a little poem he's written called "The Genies in the Steam." People wonder how to make it in life. First of kin with innate ability and a lot of hard work. Yes. But don't forget the steam. But don't forget the steam, and the steam is written in bold. The undefined asterisk and intangible. Some call it juice, some call it magic. The genie's in the magic. The magic's in the steam. Did you like that poem?
No, not really, no.
There's lots of poems in here if you want me to read another one.
Yeah, go on.
He's fucking hot, you have to admit that. Do you want to hear his schedule? Do you want to hear his workout scale from waking up to a triathlete?
Yes.
Okay, waking up, for some, this is enough. Drink a glass of water. Hydration for health. That will do it. Taking a juice.
Can you not bail out and just commit? Come on.
The morning bowel movement makes your back feel better. And your eyes bluer. What else do you need? Wash dishes. It's manual labour. That counts. Just schedule it. You don't have to actually work out. Just plan on it. That's enough. Masturbation. It's annual labour as well. It's manual labour as well. And it cleans the pipes and clears your perspective. Get a haircut. More like retail therapy. It makes us feel like we look better and hence are in better shape. Purchase a skinny mirror. Okay, then it goes on and on. Get a tan. No mayo, please. No fries with that. One less beer. Steam. Substitute the fork with chopsticks. You eat smaller bites of food. Sex. The original exercise. It generates a sweat from within and improves relationships.
Is that his insight? That sex improves relationships? A publisher has paid to have printed sex improves relationships. Thank you for your searing insight, Matthew McConaughey.
He's written a book.
Has he?
He's written a book.
Has he?
I really would love to know if he actually wrote this or if he had a ghostwriter.
Yeah.
I think he wrote it. It reads like he wrote it.
Yeah, it does read like he wrote it.
So many people have had ghostwriters and you would never know. It's incredible.
Mm.
I wouldn't ever say no to work, but I don't think I would enjoy being a ghostwriter.
Depends for who. I think you would absolutely thrive. Imagine if you got a call off Cynthia Nixon and she said, I'm going to do my memoir, and you had to hang out with Cynthia. Huh?
Miranda.
Cynthia.
Why did she come to your mind?
Cynthia Nixon?
Yeah.
She's always in my mind.
Do you like her?
Do I like
fancy
Cynthia
her?
Nixon? Fancy her?
Yeah.
She's nice looking. I don't fancy her. I mean, I've never met her.
Who would you like to fuck the most out of the 4 Sex and the City gals?
Oh, interesting.
Samantha?
Very, very
Harry?
Interesting. I know their names.
Miranda? Or Charlotte? Well, if you know your names, don't be so
I just think
snide
it's very
about
interesting,
this.
but I'm not being snide about it because I think it changed a lot over the years.
So you do mean that it's interesting, or you're just
Yeah, I do mean
dick?
it's interesting. No, I'm not being a dick. I do mean that it's interesting
Okay,
because
go
it's
on then.
changed. Because I think adolescent me was always quite aggravated about the lack of sex scene that Charlotte had. And I think that but I'd like to see her fuck more as an adolescent. So I always wanted like Charlotte. She seemed like...
What was her name, that actress? Kristen.
Yeah. And then I think it moved to Samantha as I became not attracted to the sort of absence of sex, but the bounty of sex that the character Samantha offered up. And I was pleased to be able to engage and be aroused by her. Do you know what? It was never Miranda, and that's a shame, isn't it?
What about Carrie?
But I think now, and I think in my later years and now, it's sort of stayed and remained Carrie.
Because I think Sarah Jessica Parker is stunning. I do, and her body in that was formative. Her and Britney were formative. The outfit she wore and how tiny she was, like Thumbelina. She was so tiny and breakable, and I've never been breakable.
No, much as we've tried, I've never broken you.
You've broken me.
No. I
think that she's a really interesting woman as well, Sarah J. Parker. She seems really dignified and nice. But I really want to know more about the feud between Kim Cattrall. You know Kim Cattrall's a Liverpudlian?
Yes.
And she's done things like the Horrible Histories movie. Mm-hmm. Why? She's done some really weird, obscure jobs, Kim Cattrall.
Sarah Jessica Parker is married to Matthew Broderick still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he was working quite a lot in the 90s. Films like Addicted to Love with Meg Ryan. I feel like I'm doing a Rory Stewart style explainer on Matthew Broderick. And he then Sex and the City started. They got together. She started making money up the fucking wazoo. And he went, okay, well then I'll
be a stay-at-home dad.
I'll just stop.
And they have twins and another child.
No thanks.
Yes, please. Right, that was our little. I would love to read Sarah Jessica Parker's memoir.
And what if Sarah Jessica Parker said to you, I want us to do a memoir together? Will you ghostwrite my memoir? I mean, that would be a bit of a cop-out from her. You'd want her to write it herself, but...
Do you know what? I would actually enjoy it probably if it was somebody I really admired. If it was some D-list celebrity, no. Not that I'm, if they were an interesting D-list celebrity, yeah, but...
Yeah, well, what I mean is the writing of a memoir with somebody or ghostwriting somebody's memoir would be incredibly exciting if they were an incredibly exciting person. If fucking Jordan Henderson or Michael Barrymore, the big two, said to me, I need some help writing this memoir, I go, fucking yeah, let's get into the weeds of it. The swimming pool, the move to Saudi Arabia, respectively. Lads, let's get these stories sorted so that you're happy, but also so that they got a little bit of juice. Michael, Jordan, sit down.
Okay, fair enough. Maybe I should ask my agent to be a
What
ghostwriter.
about if it was a Michael Jordan? Now we're talking. Michael Jordan, Jordan Henderson, and Michael Barrymore. 3 memoirs in one. And each chapter goes, I grew up as a small, black child, wanted to play basketball. I grew up as a Mackham in Sunderland. I wanted to be a footballer. I grew up I thought I wanted to be on TV. And it all goes, it's like, what are these people like? Now that's an idea, memoir.
Okay. Well, you can come and pitch that on my memoir podcast.
I will.
Which is called Me, Myself and Memoir.
Michael.
You like that title. I know you like it.
I don't think it is a good title.
It's a fucking great title.
But
you are not a good judge of titles.
Okay, so let's not to mention it too much, but Shagged, Married, Annoyed is a play on
Snog, Marry, Avoid.
Yes. So you can see how it sort of scans and rhymes in its right place so that when you say shagged, married, annoyed, it remains in your brain the natural meter of snog, marry, avoid.
Do you know
shagged,
what we should
marry,
do?
annoyed. So when you say me, myself and memoir, which is of course a play on the De La Soul song.
Me, Myself and Irene.
Me, Myself and I. No, Me, Myself and I by De La Soul, which Me, Myself and Irene is a play off that song, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So,
Me, Myself and Memoir is perfect.
So it should be Me, Memoir and I.
No, I don't like that.
It's just Me, Memoir and I. And it will still scan in the song. It's just Me, Memoir and I. Myself, Memoir, that works. Me, Memoir and I.
Me, Myself and Memoir.
That doesn't work. That is going to drive me fucking insane. It cannot be called Me, Myself and Memoir.
Do you know what I was just thinking?
It's Me, Memoir and I, surely.
Mine sounds more fun.
It's like when we used to go to that vegan kebab place called What the Pitta. It's like, what does that mean? What the Pitta?
Do you not like that name?
What does it mean? What's it from? What's it playing on?
What the hell?
Pitta.
This isn't meat. What the hell? This isn't meat. Like, I can't believe it's not butter.
Like, what the Pitta?
What the Pitta?
But Pitta doesn't sound anything like you would. What the?
They were being creative and you had to have an imagination, okay? I think that we could start a segment on the podcast where we just analyse what Rosie and Chris did on their podcast.
I think your segment days are finished, Mrs.
We have to have a new segment because Ferry Across the Mersey didn't work.
No, it didn't.
So we could just have what Shag, Married, Annoyed. What was our take that week?
Have we done
what was going on beneath the surface with Chris and Rosie that week?
Have we done our shareable conflict format yet? I think this whole thing's been a lot of conflict.
Well, I think what I would just like to talk about before we go is texting, because I think that this is a problem that lots of people can relate to, especially men with ADHD. So you can explain your problem with texting.
It doesn't come naturally to me. I hate it. I hate texting so much. Texting somebody successfully gives me anxiety because I'm worried about tone and the whole, whenever I get a text, I get a little palpitation, think, fuck, I've got to respond to that or not respond to it. And it's not like I'm I like participate in an avoidance of the texting back. It will be like it leaves my brain and then it will re-enter to flash afresh to hold and horrify, Philip Larkin. And then it will, just a good poet, that's why I mention it. No Matthew
In your
McConaughey.
opinion, Matthew McConaughey can do poems, just not ones you like.
I'd be very interested to go into the illusory nature of opinion one day. I think opinion is a completely kind of overrated thing. And
You're being too intelligent. Stop. Just be basic. Talk about.
Sorry, yeah. I got told off the other day for correcting somebody, and I thought, but I would want to be corrected.
No, they
You
don't
just said
want to
the
be
wrong
corrected.
word.
Of course,
What,
they
so we're
want
just going to run around using the wrong words for things, are
Who
we?
did you correct?
Somebody, I think they
Oh God.
they said something and they meant epithet.
Who did you correct? Who was it?
I think it was Freddie Quinn.
And he told you off for correcting him.
No, I was in the room with Rob Thomas, and then Rob Thomas said, maybe that's why people don't like you, is because you keep correcting them. I went, but you...
No, you shouldn't correct.
But then we all just say the wrong thing all the time, and that's crazy.
The kids saying, mispronouncing things.
That's good. I'm their dad. They learn from me.
No.
With the kids, it's definitely okay when they use the wrong...
They're only children for a little bit of time.
But that doesn't mean... But then you don't... If surely... The reason why we speak correctly or don't is because when we don't speak correctly, somebody goes, that wasn't correct. It's like, you know.
But it's lovely and charming sometimes when people make little mistakes like that.
But it isn't. And I do understand that I shouldn't do it on the podcast. And when it drives me insane, when I listen to my beloved The Anfield Rap, the only podcast that I really listen to, they're so good every single time. Oh my God. But then they did this episode the other day where they kept talking about players with mercurial traits. And I went, that's just not what mercurial means. And because they never corrected anybody, they spent this whole half an hour podcast using mercurial incorrectly. Because mercurial relates to mercury, which means it's really hot in the day and it's really cold at night. So it's blowing hot and cold. Mo Salah is not mercurial. He has been extremely consistent across his whole career. And he is having a bad time this week. So it could be a fucking long day and a tiny little bit of night now, but it's not mercurial. He's just fucking good and consistent. I'm pretty sure that's what mercurial means. And I've gotten very irate and high energy about it. And if I am wrong about it, and I haven't...
You are wrong.
Mercurial.
You are wrong.
Well, let's have a look now and
It's
see what
something to do with
mercurial
money.
means.
It's something to do with...
It's something mercurial, something. So Mo Salah is a money player.
No, but he's worth a lot.
Describes someone whose mercurial is whose mood or behavior is sudden, volatile, and unpredictable. It refers to the element of mercury. Yeah, so there you go. It's unpredictable.
You're
Blows hot and
incredibly
cold.
mercurial. You're bipolar.
Yes, that's what the song by Katy Perry is about. You're hot, then you're cold. You're yes, then you're no. You're in, then you're out. You're up, then you're down. You're wrong when it's right. You're black when it's white. You're right, we make up. We kiss, we make up. Oh, you. No. You ever have that sudden realization that you had no idea how much of a song was in you?
Yes. Yes.
Cool, huh?
Go on then. So you get a text, you read it, you think, okay, I should reply to that. Why don't you just do a really quick reply?
Because I don't want to come across as rude.
But
so in my not wanting to come across as rude, I'm ruder because I want to create the perfect response. And in my desire to conjure and compose this perfect thing, I and then in thinking, you go, get off your phone now, or I'll just go, oh, a tree or something will distract me, and I won't finish it, and then it'll come back to me, and there's just such a huge level of resistance whenever I'm texting. Oh, fucking better text, and then a text leads to more texts.
What are you afraid of? I don't understand why.
Why don't we just call each other?
Wait, why does a text need to be perfect? I mean, the eat that frog thing.
Oh, I know. You've been saying eat that frog to me for years.
Eat the hot frog. It's going to be better than a cold frog. Eat it. You're going to have to eat it at some point.
Yeah, you always forget to say hot.
Eat the hot frog.
Eat the frog while it's hot.
Well, the phrase is eat that frog. That's what the book, I will buy you the book. Eat that frog.
Is this like the let them theory?
No, the let them for theory is like, fuck it. Fuck everything. you've got to accept that you are hurting people by not replying. As somebody who replies to every single text within minutes to an annoying, I'm probably seem way too available. I always think, it's better just to get a reply done quickly, efficiently, and then they won't be hanging, whatever. As somebody who does that and then has been on the other side of it where I've just not got a reply.
I know.
It's so hurtful.
I know, and I just wish that I could explain to people that it isn't meant to be hurtful. It's just me. It's just.
Well, then you should have in your WhatsApp. You should have if it's WhatsApp messages. You should have in your bio. She said, "I'm terrible at replying."
Yeah, I think I should say, and it's ableist if you get annoyed at me for not texting back.
Yeah, this woman that I met, she was quite amazing. Really, she was like, I just say to people now that I am not good with conversation, small chat, so please don't try. And she has an assistant specifically to warn people to not do small chat. I mean, obviously you have to be able to afford an assistant.
So I could just get an assistant to text people for me.
There's probably an AI thing for that. What I really don't like on phones right now is that they have the text, the AI does an automatic abbreviation of what's happened or, précis of what is in the text. And it always sounds so much more blunt and rude than the actual text. And I have a similar problem with text. I always feel panicked when I get a text, especially from certain people. So my heart immediately starts beating, but I just attack it. I just immediately look at it and send it back.
Yes, I know. And this is actually emblematic of our different approaches to life. Me with my stultifying perfectionism and you with your enduring ability to eat frogs.
Well, which leads me to trouble because I painted this room awfully, but I just wanted to do it. So I did it. We've done things in such a rush, but I know we won't do it. Like, for instance, the blinds downstairs, we want to get these nice shutters finally after the dog has bitten through our plastic shitty shutters. And in order to get them done, we need to give the paint code. And I've asked you for a week since the guy came over to give me the code, and you just put it off and put it off and put it off. And then you finally do it. And I know you got your excuses and they're all valid, but I would have been happy for any paint color. But because you want to have this specific, there's so many obstacles to you just getting things done. And even if it's not perfect, I think you would feel so much better just getting the thing ticked off.
Yeah. I think there's probably a happy medium that we can find between this room and the shutters being the right color. Because when the shutters are here and they're the right color, that's really going to make a difference to our sort of aesthetic appreciation to our most lived in room. It's going to be really nice. And this is great, by the way, but I'm just saying that I look at these walls and I don't think there was a perfectionist in here. Because you haven't painted to the corner of any of the
I regret that.
The rooms.
I do.
There's also a line that you just haven't painted.
Oh no, I like that. I like that line.
What
I
the
did
fuck's
that.
it doing there?
It's just a nice little artistic flair.
Look.
You need to get over it. You need to start all of your texts now with an apology and end each text maybe with I'm terrible at replying, but please bear with me. You should always have that ready there because you are hurting people. And you probably have lost friendships over this.
Yeah.
You have enough friends, you're fine. I can't afford to lose any. But
well, I know it's but I that was bad podcasting, apology. Again, the extraordinary, debilitating need for everything to be perfect is the reason why we both started Substack at the same time. I put one out and then you put them out every week since. Mm-hmm. Is the reason I just don't get anything. I don't get anything completed.
The only thing you've managed to complete, really.
Oh, don't hurt me, Jessie. Don't hurt me.
Is
You're
the
going to hurt
podcast.
my feelings.
I mean, look, Matthew McConaughey is a busy guy, but he still found time to write a memoir.
I wrote that.
No, you didn't.
I ghost
That's
wrote
not-
that for
I
him.
don't want people to think that I'm slamming Matthew McConaughey's. I genuinely am excited to read this. This is the kind of fodder of me, myself, and memoir. Okay?
I'm begging you.
You're going to be fine. You need to sort out your office. We've lived here now for 10 months. 9 months. It's time to sit down.
The office was sorted. It just
wasn't.
then decorated, and then it needs to be resorted because there is, there is a new coat of paint. There's all the books off the shelves.
Yeah, but I
and
said
there's
to you, why don't you get
Dead
some
Man's Life in Music scattered around by the fireplace, isn't there?
I said, why don't you get some bookshelves from IKEA quickly? And you're like, no, but I need to get them measured, and I might not want to get them from IKEA.
But I do need to get them measured. That's a good thing to do. It's just, and then that's how you manage to avoid getting bookshelves in that aren't the right fit for it's the whole problem that we did before. We rushed it before and we've had to redo it because we rushed it. So it's ended up taking longer than if we hadn't rushed it and if we'd thought more carefully about it the first time. If we'd done some joined up thinking, we wouldn't need to redo it. But we've actually had to redo 2 rooms.
right.
And there's more to redo because we didn't invest enough time in thinking about what it was going to be.
Well, this room is perfect.
This
room
room
is done.
absolutely perfect. I'd love to give the viewer a 360 tour of the room just so they can see quite what's going on. We also have a few more cows that we need to put up.
That's gonna be the podcast
Centerpiece.
My bull.
Well, we need to make sure that it's in a place where the whole bull can be seen because right now I don't think there, just behind our heads, there's enough.
On previous ones, the cow was in though.
Yeah. What I think we need to do is move the desk forward and the camera back. We're wasting time. We need to create more depth. So I'm not happy with this space yet. I was very happy with our first space in our London flat.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with. I was very happy with our downstairs space. I thought that looked kind of moody and cool. But I think there's more to be done in this room that could make it.
Again, I think you're just creating obstacles to sitting down and doing some work.
Well, I'm not because we are sitting down and doing this. I'm just saying it would be my preference if it looked better.
Yeah.
But we are doing it. We're recording a podcast right this minute.
No, I know, but just stop making. Not everything needs to be perfect. Not every text needs to be perfect. And if it is truly important, the text, then reply. Like you should just set aside 20 minutes later on today. Just do bang, bang, bang. Reply.
Straight from the hip.
Straight from the hip.
Texting.
I mean, I'm
straight
doing
from the
that
hip.
now. I mean, this is probably not very good to admit, but I now set a timer to do content because I cannot spend all day doing hair content. And in the minimal time that I've got free, I now just kind of set a timer and I try and do as much as I can in half an hour. And then edit it all as quickly as I can within that half an hour too. And then I've done it. I mean, obviously, that's not my long-term, job and my long-term, it won't always be like this. I'll be able to do more and whatever, but it's nice having a timer and just forcing myself to do something and finish it within that time. Whereas usually I would kind of edit it later or send it later or, there's loads of stuff that always elongated the task. This is boring now. I'm really bored. Are you bored?
No, but I'm ready to find the SD cards.
Yeah, we need to find the SD cards.
Let's go and find the SD cards, Jesse.
What a day.
What a day.
Go on then.
That's Gotta Dance. Gotta Dance from Singing in the Rain. Gotta Dance.
I clapped.
Yeah, I know you clapped. I'll clap you as well. I think you did really well this podcast.
I need to promote 2 things.
Okay, well, let's do that in the beginning.
No. I want to do that at the end. I don't like promoting things at the beginning. It's already like, I just turned you on. Why are you promoting stuff?
Because we don't advertise on this podcast. The least people can do is hear what we've got to fucking promote.
Okay, go on then.
Okay. This was before we break up again. Hope you enjoyed the promotion at the beginning and it didn't turn you off.